And the final question before we kick off is, will Aberdeen be the oil and gas capital of Europe in 2023? No.
I was worried about the concern that people have about their careers, because the oil and gas industry has been good to me, and I see in the rest of the world just a huge demand for skills and for people, and I don't think the professionals here have anything to worry about. I think they have lots of opportunities. I think we get a lot of people coming into the industry from overseas. We get people from everywhere with the correct technical qualifications and a desire to go into the oil and gas industry. But in the UK, for some reason, we just don't seem to be able to stimulate that many people. And I would like to see more people coming from the indigenous market, from UK universities, and I'd like to see a publicity campaign to show how important the energy industry is to the UK economy.
We have a piece of work underway trying to assess the forecast market demand in the decommissioning sector and to try and assess that with the available industry capacity. But what really needs to happen then is that we don't just work on that in isolation within the decommissioning community. We need to add that to what the renewables industry are going to look for and require, what oil and gas is going to need to replace retiring people and to build on the growth opportunities, and put it into a national energy requirement so that we can, as an industry and as government, understand what the whole of the offshore energy picture needs and not just think about one strand of that energy requirement. And I think that becomes an even more compelling story when it is rolled out to universities, to colleges and to schools, that you're not just advertising this many jobs, you're advertising the need for this many people.
We sit here and we're thinking about our future careers in the industry as the current situation is now. For example, how do you think the landscape of the future industry here in Scotland and nationwide would change if, for example, we decided to leave the European Union or the Scottish independence?
I don't get anywhere near the politics that were behind your question, but what is abundantly clear is that fairly recently, and after long and sustained effort, the realisation in both Scottish and UK parliaments is that the energy industry, and oil and gas particularly, offers the UK and Scotland the best possible chance for economic growth in the foreseeable future. I have to say it's taken both governments far too long to acknowledge that, but the penny has absolutely dropped.
I wasn't looking for someone to say yes to independence or no to independence in terms of a yes-no vote, and now with the Westminster government discussing the issue of Europe, I think everyone says that politics should remain away from the industries like ours. It's never going to happen, whether it be tax revenues coming from Westminster or tax revenues coming from Holyrood, whether you think yes or no. I strongly believe that there's not going to be no fallout from that. Whether the fallout's positive or negative will remain to be seen, but it would be nice to hear from senior people in the industry and a bit of reassurance from both governments, rather than everyone just scoring political brownie points by saying, well, we'll do this and you'll do that.
Irrespective of whichever government's in charge, there still needs to be an energy supply, and I think the future for young professionals is certainly here in Aberdeen, and very much so definitely in our industry. The industry is global. Anything they learn here they can take away.
Aberdeen has the full potential to still be the energy capital of Europe in 10 years' time. I think the critical mass of people, of knowledge, expertise that has built up here over the years, the fact that many of the companies are already having a substantial overseas business working from this base means that all of the recipes, the key things about having access to that resource pool are already in place, and so I can't see any reason why that would change. Yes, there's a question mark about when the production in the North Sea declines to such a low level, but that's 30-40 years away, when we get to that level. And even though companies will have to perhaps, prove and trial their new technologies, their new techniques in a basin other than the North Sea, I see no reason why the intellectual property, the management and the headquarters should not remain in Aberdeen.